Brad against Anthony Pitman on your left, playing Junk Reanimator. After this game, of course, we will be giving away 3 months premium. Brad is going to ask you guys a question. He's going to make it look good. It's going to be a toughie.
I haven't got a clue what I'm going to...
It's going to be a real doozy.
Yeah. All right, so we have a turn 1 Arbor Elf from John, and that was not psychic abilities. There's just no other play for him.
You feel like you just want to take 2 and say go? Really?
Hold up that Pillar of Flame.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Hold up that sorcery. As we do see, Anthony Pitman is going to play Temple Guard untapped and play Avacyn's Pilgrim. So.
And the great thing is, yeah, Junk has these accelerators that are important, but when Jund has one, they're so much more brutal.
Yes, yeah, without question. As we're going to see a Dragon Skull Summit here from John.
I think we're yet again going to see the 3rd bonfire in a row, 1-for-1, and Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Hey, you got to get that thing off the table. You got to not let those Junk Reanimators accelerate and play their cards ahead of schedule.
I keep every 1-lander, 1 mana guy mulch draw, so sometimes you can get there.
Hey, actually, I do the exact same thing when I'm playing that deck. As you see Abrupt Decay in Anthony's hand, and you're going to see a Woodland Cemetery, so he does have a 2nd land. We'll see if he has a Mulch or a Grizzly Salvage.
Trade removal spells for mana guys. That's definitely a decent place to be, especially since you can't let John play a Huntmaster next turn.
Yeah, and then he gets really far ahead, and you're going to have to be catching up as a Junk Reanimator deck. So Abrupt Decay will take care of that Arbor Elf. We'll see what John's able to run into, as you do see a Huntmaster in his hand right now. And are we going to see the main deck Ground Seal? We do. Ground Seal does hit play for John.
He just gets it every time.
Hey, we got to be Junk Reanimator somehow. Might as well draw those Ground Seals. They're in the main deck for a reason, Brad, as we do see you see Overgrown Tomb into Arbor Elf, and John does pass the turn back.
That just has to feel good for John to have one of those main deck answers. Now in Barrow Rights and Angel's Serenity, lose so much. We already lost the Abrupt Decay from Anthony.
Yeah, and he only has 1 Abrupt Decay in his main deck. Hey, I take that back. He does have 2.
Yeah, we have
different list has
one more answer. But yeah, so now we're going to have to lean hard on the Lotlith Trolls, the Thragtusk Restoration Angels, the Center Healers, and eventually build up to a Crater Hoof. Any mulches we draw, we need to just hit a bunch of lands.
You have to play an honest game of Magic here if you're Anthony.
I don't think you can do that with Junk, especially when John is showing that he is not willing to play an honest game of Magic.
Yeah, as you do see Olivia Valderin join the fray here. Arbor Elf did get in for 1. John does play Olivia and pass the turn back. Anthony is going to be in a little bit of trouble here as he does draw a card. You see Deathrite Shaman is his draw
This
step.
is just not how this matchup ever goes, for me at least.
I mean, traditionally for me, I'm normally on the Junk Reanimator side of things, and I am normally just embarrassing them with Grizzly Salvages and Mulches, and they cast Olivia, and I Angel Serenity, and everything else they have, and laugh at them and point in their face. And we see the direct opposite here, and we see the power of main deck Ground Seal.
Yeah.
That's what we see right now. Yes, Anthony doesn't have Unburial Rights in his grave or anything, but, you know, this is a card that stops that preemptively, and it lets John cantrip, and John was able to draw into a land to be able to, you know, do what he's doing right now. So Ground Seal looking very, very good here. So we're going to see Arbor Elf untap that Stomping Ground. That's going to shoot that Deathrite Shaman for 1. And what's kind of funny here, Brad, is that he can actually elect to kill that Deathrite Shaman if he wants to. But even scarier is he can just take it. As he is going to play John a Huntmaster of the Fells, get his Wolf Token, gain his 2 life, and just pass the turn back. And now he is threatening to actually take Deathrite Shaman
instead
of just kill it.
Yeah, it's like, now I get this ability. Yes, it's a Ground Seal in play, but if you draw that 2nd Abrupt Decay that I know about, then I have an additional answer.
Yeah, I'm safe. I don't mind. So Anthony is going to draw a card. He draws Grizzly Salvage for the turn. Also, the thing that John's doing there as well is he's forcing Anthony to have a spell, because if he doesn't, then Huntmaster of the Fells flips into Ravager of the Fells, takes care of the Deathrite Shaman. So he's putting a lot of pressure on his opponent with a lot of different angles of attack.
Yep. So yeah, I don't see how you don't cast this. Like, your Deathrite Shaman's already shut off right now. Like, what are you going to do with this board?
Burial Rites, Lingering Souls, and Burial Rites, Woodland Cemetery, and Centaur Healer. Nothing exciting there for Anthony.
Yeah, we get a couple 1/1s, but they're not going to do anything on this board position.
And all of a sudden, John looking dominant against Junk Reanimator?
Yeah, it's a sad day for a Junk Reanimator fan.
Excuse me? I didn't think we'd see the day.
I didn't either.
You see Anthony considering his options here. Do I need to take the land? Do I need to take the Centaur Healer? He is going to go with the Woodland Cemetery. 2 Unburial Rites, basically going to the graveyard, not having any effect on the game.
Yeah, he needs to try to survive long enough to hit that Angel. And I feel like you needed the Centaur Healer because there's a good chance of drawing lands, but by the time you need it, you have 2 draw steps to not draw land. So now you're banking on not drawing a land for 2 turns compared to doing that and casting that Centaur Healer and just trying to stay alive. I mean, you're already down to 12. Like, I think that life is relevant. Maybe you just has to hope to running Thragtusk to get there.
We are going to see a Lingering Souls get flashback here by Anthony. 2 Spirit Tokens will come in from our table spotter, and he is going to have to pass the turn back.
I think it's just lethal, too. It's 3 activations. I guess it's not lethal. We can't kill both or 4 damage on the board, but he's gonna be able to flip that Hunt Master as well as killing most of his creatures. One of the creatures is just gonna chump block. Like this is a bad board state.
I was gonna say, well, Bonfire at the top could contain some things, but Cuvier does just draw a Farseek. So no Miracle Bonfire this time. Last time we saw John on camera, he did turn one over to finish his opponent off with.
Yes, he runs hotter than the sun.
You got to get to the top 8 somehow. So you see, Livia Voldaren's going to shoot down that Spirit Token. He's going to shoot down the other one. Livia's going to move up 2 more counters, become a 6/6. Arbor Elf. Looks like it's going to untap a Stomping Ground. Going to shoot that Deathrite Shaman just to make Olivia a little bit bigger. And here come the doofuses. You're going to see an attack here for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I mean,
of course,
he has
John, no spell yet either.
And he has to block, or yeah, he's dead on board. But if Anthony finds any way to get out of this game, he can have my job and just commentate tomorrow. Can't do that. He's not going to be that good.
And you see John. John knows exactly how his cards work. He tries to activate the Deathrite Shaman, and John immediately just points to Ground Seal and says, "I don't think so."
Not happening, bro.
You know that Ground Seal is a different language. John confidently just points at it and says, "Yeah, read that. You can't do it." Ravager the Fell shows up to the party. 2 damage over to Anthony. Anthony's going to draw a card. It's not going to be a miracle, as he does draw a Grizzly Salvage.
Yeah, there's nothing off the top for him. He's going to go for it anyway.
So you'll see a salvage here by Anthony. 5 cards turned over are Temple Garden, Unburial Rites, Thragtusk, and Crater Hoof Behemoth. Brad, you still do not get to see a hoofing.
I saw a hoof at least, though.
You did get to see the card Crater Hoof Behemoth, your invitational card, and Anthony Pitman does pack it up. John Cuvier,
what's your invitational
up a game.
card?
Figure of Destiny, not even close. Can't believe you wouldn't know that.
How would I know that?
Because it has to be a Kithkin, and it's
I
the
guess
best
that's
Kithkin.
true, yeah. I never got how you got so attached to Kithkins.
Oh, I mean, if the deck ever lost, I wouldn't be attached. But we do see John Cuvier up a game
So
here.
you won that Pro Tour.
Well, so I felt like a win.
All right.
Top 8's a win in my book.
Let's bring it back for some trivia, because I've got a good question.
Well, let me explain the rules.
We have rules.
Before you do the question, very simply, Brad is going to ask you a question. He's so excited he almost jumped the gun there. To win, to answer the question, you're going to hashtag your answer SCG Premium. Brad asks you a question. I'll give you some time. It's not about speed. It's about accuracy. Because we're going to pick one person who does get the question correct. But without any further ado, Mr. Nelson.
We're going to pick someone at random.
Yeah, who got
and
it
you know,
right.
You know who I'm winking at.
Yeah, those guys over there.
There's no one actually.
They don't know
I'm
why
not
they're
joking.
winking
There's
at
no
him
one.
at all.
Yeah. The one guy's like, yeah, my friend.
Yeah.
It's like he's totally picking me.
I won the 3-bunch, yes.
Yeah. All right. So my question for this round of trivia is, what is the card that I've been wanting to see in cast and win a game all day long?
Now, Brad, I feel like that might be a little difficult, so let's give him a hint.
Oh, excuse me. I had something in my throat.
If you can name that card that Brad has been Dynasty cast all day,
water.
hashtag your answer with hashtag SCG Premium.
If it is not all in capital and exclaimed, you cannot win. That is a new added rule. All capital and exclaimed, and anyone that's already answered, too late.
How many exclamation points are you looking for in this answer?
Well, I'm going to actually write a number down, and that's the winning number.
Okay, fair enough. So now we have just gone into full psychotic mode here in the booth.
I want this to be real.
Okay.
Any number.
Yeah, any number will work, but Brad has written down 212 exclamation points. So if you have nothing else to do,
it fits in the 140.
If you have nothing else to do, it doesn't fit the character limit on Twitter.
I'll give another clue. You can actually add a hashtag of your own if you want to.
Wow.
It'll still fit.
Wow, okay, fair enough. So again, if you do know the answer, hashtag SCG Premium with some number of exclamation points. As long as it doesn't break the character limit, we don't care.
Well,
How about that? How about that? Well,
this is gonna be a fun one.
Bit of a compromise here in the booth, as we are going to cut back to our match here: Cuvier versus Pitman. I've got deck lists in front of me.
You do have deck lists,
and I've got John's in front of me. Now we saw that he does have main deck, the Ground Seal, 2 copies of that, and a third one in his sideboard, of course. Other cards that he can bring in here: Bonfire of the Damned, a card you're a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Also 2 copies of Slaughter Games. You're also going to find 2 copies of Duress, that Ground Seal I spoke of, maybe a Rakdos Return. He also has 2 copies of Acidic Slime. What do you like here from Cuvier the most out of these options?
I love the Ground Seal, the Bonfire of the Dams, and the Slaughter Games. And those are all cards that John also agreed with me, and I think that's what he's bringing in. Cards that I dislike from the main deck are Abrupt Decay The Dreadbore, Tragic Slips, I think those removal are just not needed. I think that's what he's going to take out. Rex's Return also could potentially come out. Liliana as well. So he'll probably keep some of the spot removal and get rid of those. Like, Liliana is very embarrassing unless you have a Ground Seal.
Okay.
But it's still not that great because you can discard Lingering Souls. So I think the Lilianas are, like, out immediately along with the Abrupt Decays and the Dreadbore. Those are, like, the weak cards. But maybe Dreadbore is better than Tragic Slip.
All right, as we do see Anthony Pitman's sideboard up on the screen here. You see the 2 Acidic Slimes, Centaur Healer, 3 Deathrights, 2 Rocks, Faith Menders, 2 Abrupt Decays, 2 Slips, an Obsidian, and a Duress. He's playing against Jund, of course. Anything here that really stands out to you as a card outside of Obsidian, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Obsidian is definitely coming in. Duress and Acidic Slime are both also really good contenders. Have to deal with those early guys. Since we do have deck lists, we know that John doesn't have access to Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
So I don't think the Abrupt Decays are as important. I would not really bring those in just to fight Ground Seal. He might keep 1 in his main deck, but you can't tutor for it, and that's kind of important. So I think he's just going to want to transition his deck, maybe take out an Umbrella Rights, and just cast everything. Okay. And just hope that works. And the dresses are very good in this matchup.
And I'm being told by our directors here very quickly that we are breaking the exclamation point record on Twitter. So congratulations to you, Brad.
Thank you. And now we will get into the Guinness Book finally.
It took us long enough here at
It
SCG
did.
Live.
It did take us quite a long time.
But congratulations to you guys at home for breaking the exclamation point record. For those of you who do have the ability.
I feel like this is finally the accomplishment that I deserve a raise, just so you know.
A raise has been announced.
Yes, because we just got into the imaginary Guinness Book of World Records.
A raise is on the stack, and unsurprisingly, it has not resolved.
Counterflux.
Yes, raise has not resolved. Pete has just cast Last Word.
Oh, no.
Actually, and that cannot be countered. So you'll have to renegotiate it some other time.
Wait, is it still in the stack? Can I talk?
No, it resolved.
Oh, so I can't talk anymore?
You can come back.
Oh, okay.
You can come back. Just Pete.
Game 2.
Pete always casts Last
Game
Word.
2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we do see Cuvelier versus Pitman here. Cuvelier up a game. He said no fear. He said when I talked to him today that the Junkman Mirror deck's a little overhyped, and he said he's had a lot of success with Jund. So far he's 2-0, so he's put his money where his mouth is.
I mean, he's showing it. Yeah, it's awesome. Like, he's a great player. He's proven everyone wrong. I would definitely challenge accepted, build my own version of Junk and battle him.
Sure.
I want that. Can we just have a round 12 today? A round 11?
I don't think he wants that, but
he probably doesn't.
We could see. We could chit chat with him after today.
Yeah.
Especially if he wins this match here, he's gonna be in a good mood.
I was gonna bring Junk and just play during the buys, like do some gunslinging while we have our 1 and 2 round buys.
Well, I'm sure that's a lot of fun for everybody.
I do love it. It is. It's fun.
It's certainly fun for the person playing Junk Reanimator. I don't know if people enjoy playing against it.
But yeah, so I might have had it. I should have brought it just for this moment.
We do see both players looking at their 7 cards. John looks happy. My read is that he's going to keep his hand. He's already looked.
Yeah, from what I can tell, I think Anthony has like multiple Angels and a heavy land draw, but it's not actually that bad.
All right, bad read. Bad read by the home team.
Actually, that is a thing that I'm catching up on. Is like, when a person has 0 cards in their hand?
Yeah.
And they draw and look at the card instantly, and then instantly go back to the board, and you're like, land done.
Sure.
Like no thought process back to like their like non-land permanents.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with hand. If a person looks at their hand, doesn't spend any time thinking about it, like less than 5 seconds, and instantly like looks at you or sets their hand down, they didn't draw the nuts. like they actually just know they're mulliganing and they're tired, and that's what they do. It's a read that I've been very good on.
Okay.
So John looked very content, but that was because he was content with his decision, not with his hand.
What about maniacs like me who just don't ever mulligan and just keep all of their hands?
Yeah, because like you and Gerard, I never even have once said that I beat one of you by play skill. I just beat you because you beat yourself. It's like draw, not get there.
Wow.
No, I played Gerard at the Pro Tour, and he had a extremely better deck than me in Limited. But he like kept a 1-lander and kept a 6-lander, and I got him.
Gerard does land. I actually don't mind mulliganing. But I have some loose keeps in my day.
We all keep loose.
I like a loose keep every now and again.
You just need to feel something
sometimes.
sometimes.
That's right. Sometimes you just want to get there, okay?
Yeah.
And while that's not rational, it does feel good when it happens. So that's why sometimes we
15% of the time.
Yep. Probably less than that, actually, if you actually do the math. But who's counting?
Who does the math in this game?
No.
We just throw things on the board and see what happens.
Just your Hall of Famers. That's probably it. As we do see John looking at 6 cards here, is a little more content. You do see a Dragon Skull summon among others in his hand. Is he
And
happy?
I feel like we have a lot of red cards, and I don't think we want red cards. Not many of his best cards are mono red.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I feel like that's multiple bonfires.
He does not look terribly pleased here. Pretty deep in the tank. Does know he has a game to kind of quote-unquote give away here. Would obviously rather wrap it up 2-0 than play a third game, but...
Well, he wants to get some food, get some sleep, and we have to be back at 8, and then another tournament. And I bet if he wins this, he definitely wants to go for Jerry's. Yeah.
Run it back.
He wants to tie with Jerry. Jerry, as what I'm saying is Jerry's the only person to ever win back-to-back opens in the same weekend. Mm-hmm. Takes 2 trophies home with you. How good do you have to feel taking 2 trophies in one weekend?
It's got to feel pretty good.
It's got to, right?
It's got to feel pretty good.
Like when you get home, it's like, all right, well, I just have to drink 2 different beers now. Like I have to have 2 different drinks in my trophies.
Not a big deal. Not too tough for Jerry. As John is going to take a mulligan down 2-5 here. At the least.
If he wins this game.
Okay, bold claim.
I will get on my knees and bow. I'm not worthy to him. I promise that. We will take pictures.
I've never
wanted someone to win
so bad on cast. I think the only time I've ever wanted someone to win worse is when Caitlin played against Jerry in Columbus.
Oh, it was so good.
Open.
I was there live watching.
I was so biased. It was
How could
just
you not
crazy.
be?
I couldn't. That's the point.
Especially her facial expressions. They're just like, sorry.
Sorry, Cass hypergenesis kill you. It's not personal. Still love you.
I hope you still win the tournament, but I'm taking the win.
That's right. So let's see if John can find a better 5 here. If you guys are just joining the Star City Games Open Series here in Orlando, Florida, Cedric Phillips, Brad Nelson, you can join in on the conversation at SCG Live, hashtag SCGORL. Interact with us here for the last round that we'll be covering today. Again, we'll be back tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Semifinals and the finals, where we're crowning a new champion, and then more standard action after that, as it is a back-to-back standard open, and John is going to 4.
I feel like I'm okay with my claim now.
Oh, tough guy.
Tough guy.
Real tough guy over here. 1 man mulligans to 4. Now you're feeling on top of the world.
I mean, it's good. I haven't seen many Mull-4s win in standard. Not against a deck with incremental card advantage.
Yeah, me either.
So what are we looking for? 3 lands and a ground sale draw into Huntmaster or
I like
Olivia?
that. That's good.
Yeah, that's what we need.
That's a good start.
With a Miracle Bonfire somewhere for spice.
Maybe just like 2 lands ground seal.
Yeah. Plus after the Huntmaster Olivia, we have the Miracle Bonfire.
Bang. That's
Bang,
all around. Any game that's won on a mulligan to 4 in standard probably involves a Miracle Bonfire. Could we agree? Maybe
No,
like a
we
Miracle
can't.
Terminus?
No, I think like I think a Blitz deck can get there with like just an aggressive champion. Like the opponent kind of like gets stuck.
The opponent had to keep a pretty bad hand then.
I mean, do you know how good champion is?
It's pretty good. It's not very good on Mold 4. Your draw has to be absurd for that card to be good on Mold 4.
If you draw Burning Tremorsaire, you can go champion Burning Tremorsaire into Mare. Attack for 4.
And they can have a removal spell and kill it.
Yeah, they don't have that.
Oh, okay.
This is a hypothetical where
So
it
they
wins.
probably kept a bad hand against the Naya Blitz deck?
Well, he mulled the 4.
Yeah, the Naya Blitz
This
guy
is
mulled
in...
the 4.
Yeah, and the other guy, this is like in 2008. He kept a loose one.
Oh, 2008. Okay.
Yeah, he's like 4. I can beat that.
Okay, so
I'm good.
2013 is where we are? I just want confirmation. Okay.
Are we?
It is 2013.
Oh, I thought I had
Almost
2 more years
April
before I went on
2013.
fire.
Yeah.
Damn.
The Human Torch, Brad Nelson. As we are going to see John roll off 4 cards here.
Another double red spell hand.
Yeah, that's a Mortar's Thragtusk, Thundermaw Hellkite, and looks like a Murder.
Yeah, no lands.
John, don't be too proud. You can send that one back too.
3. We
have one broadcaster chanting 3.
3.
And he is going to keep. We see Overgrown Tomb. We are underway, for lack of a better term here, and John does just pass the turn back. In this situation, this is where this is called an information game to me.
No, this is called Please Draw Lands.
I mean, he's certainly going to lose this game. So you're going to see a Grizzly Salvage turnover, Lot Latrell, Tragic Slip, Lot Latrell, Sunflower Grove, Cavern of Souls.
He does see that he has Tragic Slip.
Yeah, so this is like an information game where you're almost certainly going to lose, but there's no reason to actually concede. It's not like we have timed rounds here in the top 8. So you might as well get some information. Maybe you can find out how your opponent's sideboarded, see their decision-making process, that sort of thing. It's something you brought up earlier. Players play a lot better when they're ahead than when they are behind, and you could certainly say that Anthony is ahead here. So.
He's playing so fast. Look at how quick he's playing.
Yeah, we see a lot of Latrell.
I mean, he is goldfishing, to be fair.
And forced off the top. Let's play some Magic. Arbor Elf in the house. And John passes back confidently.
John is so good at Magic that he gave his opponent a 3-turn head start. That is just very kind of him.
That's what champions do.
Yeah. Generous.
As you do see in Anthony Sandy, he has 2 copies of Angel Serenity. Looks like we have an Abrupt Decay, a Crater of Behemoth over there. You do see the Decay be pulled forward. The old punch in the face there, taking care of the Arbor Elf. And now we see Lotless Troll coming across for 2.
I was hoping he's like, discard 2 guys, that's cool, and then ground seal with the Unbearer Rights in hand. We actually get there, at least onto a card.
Now we see John does just draw a card.
I think he hit a land.
Yeah, looks like an Overgrown Tomb to me.
Yeah.
Pow, he's going to take 2. Going to move down to 16 now. And now we're going to see Ground Seal Cantrip.
Ooh,
the Dragon
got a Dragon Skull
Summit. Let me tell you, if he wins this game, that's all I'm going to say. If he
there's
wins
no
this
way.
game. Look, I'm just saying, if he does.
They're
So we're going
Angels.
to see a Forest. I'm just saying.
I mean, he has no action right now.
He comes across
He's
for
got
2.
3 dead cards in
He
the
has
hand.
2 Angel Serenities and an Unburial Rights
And a
Crater
Crater of
Behemoth in his
Behemoth, oh
hand.
my god.
I'm just saying.
We got a 4th
As
land.
John draws a Blood Crypt, puts that into play tapped.
And if he draws another land in the next 2 turns before Anthony gets there,
says
we
go.
can acidic slam a land.
Anthony draws a card. He draws an Overgrown Tomb.
Ooh, we are just a white source away. All right, at this point, don't you just discard like
I
one
feel
of
like
those
you have
angels?
to discard one of those big guys in his hand.
Yeah, get the beats on a little bit
But
more.
Anthony's-
Put some.
Anthony's just going to play Overgrown Tomb and pass
How
the
does he
turn
beat
back.
Lotless Troll if you just discard the 3 cards? All right, well, here comes Huntmaster.
All right, Dragon Skull Summit. Is it Huntmaster time?
Summit.
It is. So John's going to move up to 16 here. You see a Wolf token. Brad, control yourself.
Anthony, white source. Channel the white source.
Anthony's going to untap. He's going to take a draw step here. He runs into
A white source.
a white source.
Oh, no.
There is a Temple Garden. That's going to give him triple white. Anthony's going to take 2, got into 18, and it's Angel Serenity time. Wow, 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 wow.
Wah.
It's like
Bam,
when
bam.
someone's so close to rolling $1 on the Price is Right.
Looking through his graveyard, that just doesn't work.
Yeah. It's like when someone is spinning the big wheel on the Price is Right, and it's like $1, and then it just ticks down to a nickel. That's what just happened there. Doesn't feel good.
Actually, no. This is when you spin the big wheel and you hit the like 95, and you're like, yeah, and the guy behind you is just like 100.
Yeah, $1. Sorry, homie.
Yeah.
So we see John's going to untap. He's going to draw. You're going to see Mizzy and Mortars take care of that Lotleth Troll. John putting up the good
whole
fight.
way, yeah.
And now we're going to see a Farseeker here. And again, no reason to concede.
Everyone at home, land.
Oh,
Land.
Brad wants to see Crater of Behemoth.
Land.
You know what, world? Let's give Brad what he wants.
I want to
He's rubbing his hands together. John draws Thragtusk.
I think John's going to scoop before that. No. Don't scoop yet.
In for 5 comes Angel
But
Serenity.
don't slime a land.
I've never seen one person be so distraught, rooting for John to win, switching back to Anthony to draw land for Crater of Behemoth. Doesn't want John. I mean, wants John to win, so we'll have to bow to the floor.
But I just want to see the hoof.
Well, you're going to see a beast, all right. It's just Thragtusk, not Crater of Behemoth. As Anthony is going to move up to 23, present a lethal attack next turn. John going to untap. John going to draw. John finds an irrelevant draw step, it looks like. It was a Rakdos return.
Yeah, Thragtusk.
And
Staying
John's now
alive.
going to cast the
Staying
Thragtusk
alive.
to push himself up to 12, which might mean that
Land.
that Anthony might need to cast a Crater of Behemoth as he draws an Avacyn's Pilgrim, which is like a land.
It's close.
That's really like a land, Brad.
But then he's going to get Rakdos returned.
So here comes the Thragtusk and Angel Serenity. Thragtusk will trade off. Beast tokens will come into play. John will move back down to 7.
Yeah, we're just going to play Angel Serenity. This game's locked up. Oh, no, there's no Sever. He doesn't know. He knows that there's no Sever. So
And now here's an Angel Serenity number 2. Going to take care of that Beast token. And he does pass the turn back. John going to untap and draw a card.
2 Explorers. There's
It
nothing.
is Olivia Valderin. And will John concede or will he make Brad happy?
Make me happy. Can I scream don't concede?
And that is the game.
No!
John Cuvelier does concede game 2. Anthony Pitman will tie the matchup up, and yet again, no credit for him as our cast with Brad Nelson in the booth.
How is this possible? There's 3 in the tablet. We've watched it all day long, and we have not seen a hoof yet.
And if you're playing a side game at home, drink up, my friends. Glass of water for me.
Is the side game as whenever I say hoof?
Maybe. Check your Twitter. Check your Twitter. As we do see both players smiling here, John keeping a no-lander. Tried to break out of it. For a moment there, we had a moment.
We did have a moment.
We had a moment there where we might get one of the more incredible comebacks I've ever
hold
seen
hands
playing
again.
Magic. We could, but we won't. We won't. That's not going to occur. So for John, step 1, obviously, let's find a more
keep
reasonable
7.
hand. Yeah, let's find 7. How do you feel about Rakdos Return being in the stack after sideboard?
It's fine. Step 1 is to make sure, like, Umbrella Rights, like, if you have the 1-2 punch, you can go either Ground Seal into Rakdos Return or Slaughter Games taking Umbrella Rights into Rakdos Return. It's 2 different options that you have. And it's very powerful because the Junk Reanimator decks are not built to fight both. If you take their graveyard, they're going to fight you with their hand. So if you fight both, the game is crippling. The deck is too much air at that point. You have too many dead cards like Unbearer Rights, Avacyn's Pilgrims, just basic lands, Mulches, Grizzly Salvage, things like that. Like, it doesn't actually have that high a density of powerful spells. That's why, like, a lot of these decks I think are just running a little bit too light on that stuff, not transitioning enough to have like the big power cards.
Okay.
I like big, powerful cards, and so like,
know.
I know.
You like to cast them ahead of schedule too.
And I bored out my Craterhoofs in this matchup, ironically enough.
Oh, well, see, Anthony's doing you a favor.
Yes.
He knows that you're watching. He knows that you want to see Crater Behemoth, and he tried to get there.
I actually don't like the card against anything except Esper and other mid-range decks, like other like Avacyn's decks.
Sure. So we'll see Anthony going back to the drawing board here. John looks pretty content as he's shuffling away. Looks like he's executed this game plan many a time before coming in this tournament, and also twice during this tournament, as he did beat Junk Reanimator twice yet again. We'll see if he can do it a third time here. This is what many perceive to be Junk Reanimator's best matchup, playing against the Jun deck. It's what has made Jun kind of fall out of favor over the past couple of weeks here. So we'll see if that holds true or not here.
And I mean, well, it is a very good matchup when your opponent mulls to 4 and doesn't play any lands.
That is a astute observation.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for. That's why
Wasn't the player of the year for nothing, folks.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they bring me in here, for the heavy questions,
That's
heavy
right.
hit answers. Oh, so that's where the feature match area is. I've been over here and I had no idea where it was.
Yeah, luckily for us this weekend, I don't think we're going to have to do any mood lighting. We're in a very large hall here at the Swan and Dolphin Resort.
Very beautiful, too. This place is amazing.
Yeah, very, very nice convention center and hotel. And the convention space that we have is so large. And the walls, the acoustics here don't really echo very much. So we don't have to... You guys want to set the mood lighting this weekend.
Oh, they'll hear me.
Now, if you want to,
when I see a Crater Hoof, they'll hear me.
That's true. The whole world will hear you if a Crater Hoof is cast. So if you are a headphone user at home, prepare yourself.
Everyone just snap mutes.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
All right, so let's see. Sevens.
Sevens are key here for Cuvelier. Now, of course, he can't take a mulligan to 6 and certainly be all right, but ideally we'd like to see 2 7-card hands here from each player and a real healthy game of Magic.
A lot of land.
I see a couple lands there for John as well. Pitman mulligans immediately. Cuvelier looks like he is happy.
Yeah.
For Cuvelier, maybe a little mental fist pump. John's saying, maybe it's your turn to go to 4.
Yeah, John's like, yeah, let's see you go to 4.
Yeah, it's even up that way.
And I think if there's a deck that can win at 4, I think Junk is the deck I would put on that. Mulch is a hell of a card.
Deck does mulligan well. That's certainly true. That is certainly true.
So you've been playing a little bit of this on your stream, right?
Yeah, I've been playing Junk Reanimator recently, trying it up a little bit.
How good does it feel on turn 2 to discard to your mulches? Like
love
discard
it.
One of your
I
spells?
actually love it.
It's so good.
I actually love mulch like in this deck. I'm playing 4, where a lot of lists play in between 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's one of the cards that actually just turns your deck on, like Grizzly Salvage does. Maybe 4 is too many. I don't know. I've had a lot of success with mulch. And I normally like playing a normal game of Magic too.
4 helps against Jund and Esper because you get to your utility lands, you make your land drops the whole game. But the other matchups is a little slow.
Yeah.
Like you find yourself behind a lot against the aggressive decks,
Yeah,
where you just need like one more spell to get there.
Yeah. I'm also, I'm trying a version where basically, like, I guess I'm not all as on hoofing as you are, like, as you have sages and stuff like that. Like, I have 4 lingering souls and 4 mulches. I just want, like, my mulches to be basically like, turbocharged.
Well, everyone just wants the value.
Yeah. Where everyone's like, hey, I guess, like, my mulch could just be okay. Like, I want, like, a lot of mulches and then my mulches to turn over awesome cards.
Well, one of the versions that I think would be interesting if anyone looked at right now is the actual turbo, like, the hoof there it is, but you run angels over the hoofs.
Sure.
And you run, like, the Death Rites and the Tracker's Instincts and the Somber World Sages and stuff like that.
So you're consistently doing the same
I think
thing
we're just a little too slow. It was probably better last week and not next week. But
how about for tomorrow?
Tomorrow it would be a sweet brew.
Because we do have another standard open tomorrow. You never know. Might want to get in somebody's ear. Maybe you got some friends in the house.
I mean, if someone's playing tomorrow and wants my coin flip deck that I'll just build tonight, I'm just going to tell you not to do that, but I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we do see an Arbor Elf here from John. Anthony with a Sun Petal Grove and passes the turn back. We do see a Ground Seal in John's hand. He does have a healthy amount of lands, but it looks like he does have an Olivia over there. So it's got some things to do on the early turns of the game, and Ground Seal will give him another card.
Oh, he's just going to Ground Seal get in for one?
Yep. So we do see Ground Seal here. I'm going to draw John a Newman. He draws me Huntmaster of the Fells. You see him pump the fist a little bit there and get in there. He drew Huntmaster off of the Ground Seal and now an Arbor Elf. So his curve looks like it's good to go. As you do see a Abrupt Decay along with an Absence Pilgrim over there for Anthony.
Yeah.
So he does have an answer to the Ground Seal, but he's going to have to use a turn to take care of it, it looks like.
Yeah, since his mana is going really rough right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's got one of these draws here where he has all of these dual lands, the M10 dual lands, you can call them, but none of the Ravnica dual lands to make those cards come and play on tap. As John is going to play a Dragon Skull Summit, and we'll see if he's going to go with Huntmaster this turn.
Oh, don't you just you have to slam the Olivias? Yeah.
Right.
There's no answers to them out of the this Junk Reanimator list doesn't have any Sever the Bloodlines, which I think is a very crucial card for not only the mirror matches but for the Jund matchup. And so we hit a Grizzly Salvage, but because it's green black, the Absence Pilgrim is not going to be able to allow for Abrupt Decay plus Salvage. So I do not know what he's going to do to get out of this. It definitely involves that salvage, so I might just salvage now, put Lingering Souls to put some more annoying things in play, and then Abrupt Decay the turn that we're going to Umbrella Rights.
Sure. But you see Anthony is going to play the Isolated Chapel. That's going to come into play tap turn. He does just pass the turn back, so looks like we're going to see Absence Pilgrim bite the dust from Olivia Valdarin trigger. John does draw a Woodland Cemetery. Again, does have plenty of lands in his hand. You also see a Kessig Wolf run there, a Farseek, and the only other spell he does have is that Huntmaster of the Fells that he drew off of the Ground Seal. So I think step one, we start with just taking care of Absence Pilgrim, yes?
Yes. I don't think playing the Huntmaster is worth it. We don't want a Thragtusk to come into play and give Anthony a couple more draw steps. We want to have our board position solidified before Thragtusk.
And that's what we're going to see. Olivia Valdarin going to take care of that Absence Pilgrim. Arbor Elf and a bigger Olivia are going to come across here, and we'll probably see a Farseek post-combat here for John. Make that Kessig Wolf run a little bit better than his deck as well. Get those colors all situated. And he'll probably just pass the turn back. As he will search up a Stomping Ground, and he does just pass. So maybe we'll see a Grizzly Salvage. Maybe we'll see an Abrupt Decay. It is going to be Grizzly Salvage to start. 5 cards that are turned over are Angel Serenity, Woodland Cemetery,
halfway there, come on,
Acidic Slime,
all the way there,
right,
all the way there,
and a Temple Garden. So a very fortunate Grizzly Salvage there for Anthony. You see a Thragtusk in his hand as well. Decisions to make here. That Temple Garden can turn on those lands in his hand as well.
Well, he has a Swamp. He did draw into some basics a little late, but I mean, you can take the Acidic Slime to deal with the second Ground Seal. I do like that as long as you have the lands to cast what you need. So this turn, you're just going to see him passing Abrupt Decay and untap with an Angel.
Yep.
But that's gonna be good because by the time that the Angel hits play, the Arbor Elf is probably going to be the last creature left in play on John's side, and that isn't going to be able to be a Wolf run. So John is going to have to top deck some good cards. This is the perfect opportunity for him to go Rakdos Return.
Yeah, this is where you see Rakdos Return really shine. As we're going to see Anthony untap. He's going to draw
a Restoration Angel, maybe?
I'm not quite sure. Hiding his cards pretty well there. We do know Acidic Slime is in the hand. We also know about Abrupt Decay. And you see him, looks like he's thumbing a Godless Shrine. Old school artwork there. So he's going to play that.
and just pass. I mean, he wants to hide the fact that he's going to Angel next turn.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be doing a little bit of showtime right now. Just like, go.
Yeah, make it seem like the Acidic Slime is the answer for the ground seal.
Yeah.
When in truth it is the Abrupt Decay. But John is going to untap. He's going to draw. He draws...
Rakdos Return. Woo! Call it like I see it.
Hey, he's from the future, ladies and gentlemen. Rakdos Return gonna go upstairs. This is for 5. You're gonna see an Abrupt Decay take care of that ground seal.
Big game.
And so that's gonna take care of Anthony's hand. That's gonna knock
Not
him
gonna
down
give him
to
a 5th
9.
land drop.
This attack will knock him down to 5.
This does put a Thragtusk in his hand, and this, to be fair, this is not a great place to be, but this is showing how powerful those bonfires I've been talking about all day are. We're going to grind this game out with his Angel Serenity. It's going to go back and forth for a couple more turns, and he's going to draw some cards, he's going to get some Thragtusk back in his hand, he's going to try to find another Angel, but eventually, John's probably going to hit one of those bonfires, and the game is over.
So you're going to see Angel Serenity come in here. It's going to take care of that Olivia Valder, and it's going to take care of that Arbor Elf, and it's going to put Thragtusk underneath here. John wants to check and survey that graveyard really quick. He'll see Acidic Slime, among other things, down there. So this would be, wouldn't you consider this to be an unfavorable position for John? But realistically, he's taking care of what the bigger problem is, which is the hand.
Anthony's dead in 2 turns to that Huntmaster Wolf run.
Yeah.
Anthony has to rip, and I don't even know what he can because he didn't draw land.
And John,
and there's the
bonfire of the Damned.
Psychic
you are from the future.
So,
Miracle Bonfire of the Damned. Second time we've seen it on camera from John Cuvelier. Takes down the match. And he said that his Junk Raider matchup is not as bad as everyone thinks.
The guy rips cards like an absurd...
You play the cards to draw them.
Yeah, and he drew them in the exact correct order the entire game.
That is a winning formula, Mr. Nelson. And that is a win for John Cuvier. So him piloting John 3-0 against Junk Reanimator.
The dream is alive to go back to back.
Impressive win there from Cuvier.
And if he goes